That's $10,000, Connor. Ha ha! Yeah! 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 This show is not for sharpshooters. This show is a fucking machine gun. There's no chewy center to this show. It's all hard candy. This show is not a sniper on a fucking roof. This show is a drone taking out a village. Do not invite me into your house because I will come in and I will wreak fucking havoc. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt's 40-Year-Old Toy Podcast. Folks, we're all upside down. We're backwards. We're Koyaanisqatsi, as I've said before on this show. And people are like, what the fuck does that mean? And I say, hey, it's a thing. Just go look it up. But then everybody goes, how do I spell Koyaanisqatsi? And I say, we have talked far too long about this. Why are we having this conversation? Please move along. Just go look up something that means topsy-turvy and then enter K-O-Y, and I'll bet it comes up. I'll bet it does. I learned it from Dennis Miller, where I learned most of my stuff. I sat at the knee of the master, and I learned all about these things. So, hi, how are you? I'm good. All right. You know, and this is weird. It's a strange thing because, folks, as you're hearing this, it is Wednesday. No, check that. It is Thursday, November 7th, right? Think so. Take a look at your watch. Take a look at your calendar. Hide your kids. Hide your wife. That guy's still around? Didn't he get a TV show or something? I have no idea. There's another dude who just gave an interview to the local news, and the next thing you fucking know, he's all over the goddamn place. Folks, don't ever go viral. It's bad. When you're kids, it was like, oh, I don't want to go viral. It means I'm sick. Unless you get to stay home from school, which was fine. Then you wanted to go viral. But then you get older, and it's like, oh, I can't wait to go viral because everybody know who I am. Dude, you know who doesn't like when you go viral? Everybody else in the world. You can go viral, that's fine, but we don't care for your viralness. Take your viralness walking. So now it's Thursday, November 7th, and you're sitting here listening to this right now, and you're like, Jesus, a new show already? And I'm like, yes, however, I'm lean in very closely, because I'm going to tell you this right now, folks. This show isn't exactly new.
What?
That's right. I'm recording this. What is it, February? I have no idea what it is. I'm recording this show what's 2 weeks ago, right? Yeah, all right, because last week's show, I'm confusing myself. And the thing is, I shouldn't even be telling you this. You don't care. And it's all magic. It's in the moment. I could be sitting in your room right now talking to you, and you're like, dude, this is happening right now. But nope, this is, you know what? Because I'll tell you this. There's an air of staleness to what's going on right now. I'm sure you're like, oh man, this show smells a week old. Well, it's because it is. It's actually 2 weeks old. Holy shit. This show is 2 weeks old, God damn it. This show's been in the can for 2 weeks. Actually, check this. This is the second show I ever did with Lily. We did this, and we put it as an emergency show up in a cabinet. Just in case. It's actually in, yeah. We're here in her husband's house in the condo in Burbank. And it's on the wall. We're like, hey, break glass in case of emergency. And we just went ahead and stored this show. So, hey, David, how are you? We're recording. Almost done. David does not like when I'm in his kitchen recording with his wife. So that's fine.
Wow, that really grossed me out.
What, that he didn't like it? Oh.
You called me his wife.
Well, you are his wife. Of course you are. You and your blue couches and your gorgeous kitchen. Come on. All right. So that was a good kitchen / studio, and your heated toilet seat with a bidet. All right. That's not a lie, folks. That is totally true.
3.
Yeah. They had 3 heated toilet seats with bidets. Weirdly, all on one toilet. That made no sense. But they wanted to be extra, extra warm and extra, extra clean. No, Lily, they had, Lily and her husband have. I keep speaking in past tense when we're here right now. But right now, if I were to take a break and go use the restroom, there is a heated toilet seat with a bidet. I actually used the bidet. It's the only time I've ever used a bidet was here. Because it's the only one I've ever seen. I mean, it's not like I passed it up everywhere else. Oh my God, I can't use this bidet at the ball game. I mean, that never came up. Very, very rarely do you stumble upon a bidet in the wild. But there were certainly bidets here at the Lawrence. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Public. Everyone knows.
Oh, okay. At the Lawrence household, our friend Lily Lawrence and her husband David. So
Lily Lawrence.
Lily Von Lawrence. I apologize.
Never took his name.
Lily Von Lawrence. That's my fault. Because people always ask me, is Lily Von Stripper her real name or is that just her radio name for you? And I'm like, I go to Facebook and look. I don't,
Her real name.
Yeah, it's totally a real name. As a matter of fact, 10th caller gets to see her driver's license. Go ahead and call right now.
I think it's online.
Ring that. Is your license online? All right. So yeah, so here we are. We're in their house, and Lily, as she often did while we're doing these shows, she's baking. She's baking something because that's what she likes to do. She prepares food for all of the workmen who are in the house because they will never ever leave. Every time I'm here, it is just tons of workmen. We actually recorded, because I'm always look. I'm recording. All right. All right. I'm sorry. Behind the curtain a little bit, folks. We're still in the oldest building in Hollywood. This is really. I know I'm trying to take you back in time to Burbank and the condo and the bidet, but right now, really, we're in Lily's house, the oldest building in Hollywood. But, so as we're here recording, if anything happens, I'm distracted. Like, if Eddie walks out of the back, funnyeddie.com, if he comes walking in and he's like, hey, I want an orange or whatever the fuck, or if there's people outside or any noise, I have to kind of almost stop down and just be like, what's going on? What's happening? Who's interrupting the show? When we did the show at Lily's old house with her husband, there were workmen working around us, like building a staircase or some shit, and they were walking in and out and to and fro as I was recording the goddamn show. I think I actually said hello to them on the air a couple times. How you doing, fellas? Good to see you. And I'm sitting at her kitchen table with fucking cans on, with like a headset, looking like a dope, and they're just like, "Senor, I have to put in a rug," or whatever the fuck they said. And then I said, "Here, boy," and I threw a bag of hot Fritos outside, and they all ran outside to chase it. All right, so. I'm a terrible person.
You specified the type of
It has to be.
because
Well, of course, they're hot-blooded Latinos. Hot-blooded Latinos enjoy your hot Fritos. Oh, folks, let me let you in on a taste treat that I've just recently discovered. Let me tell you all about Mike Schmidt and his tongue. Here's something that I enjoy now, something that has come to my attention. There's in Travis Barbecue House, there's a kid who works there, good kid. And he always brings in like sneaky snacks from his house. Like he'll have a bowl of Skittles or have a bowl of trail mix or some stuff. Well, the other day he had a bowl of peanuts out, and he'll get like roasted, salted peanuts, whatever. And so I said, hey, can I grab some? He goes, oh yeah, try them. So I grabbed a handful of peanuts and I ate them. Dude, he takes peanuts and then he squirts lemon juice all over them. And oh my god. It was fucking like if I did not think the lemon juice would burn, I would have stuck my balls in the dish. I mean, it was like that fucking good. That's how good it was. And also out of courtesy for the other people who wanted to have some peanuts. I have to be honest. Although it was clearly second to the burning lemon sensation. By the way, you remember burning lemon sensation, don't you?
Oh, awesome.
I actually saw them open for U2 on the Zooropa tour. So
That was awesome.
yeah, it was a good show. It was not bad. So now peanuts with lemon, like that's my thing. And then this week he brought in, or no, this week, when I say this week, you don't even know when it could be, folks. It could have been fucking March. You have no idea when this is. Because I've played with your head so much and I've screwed you up and you have no idea what the date is right now. Go ahead and look at your watch, but that's not the date that I'm talking. I'm either in the past, you know what, folks? I recorded this in the fucking future. That's right. Lily got done scissoring herself on an elevator and then we got together and recorded this goddamn show.
Oh,
Because we hopped in the time machine. It was awesome. Pretend you wouldn't want to have sex with yourself. Just pretend again. I dare you. So folks, but it is, so he bought red hot, not red hot, but like chili peanuts, like Planters chili spicy peanuts and put the lemon on them. Oh my God, folks. And, again, it could be because I don't eat that this is why this tasted so delicious. Maybe that's why any nourishment at all I put in my mouth that I can chew and swallow, it changes the game a little bit. So I'm here to tell you, folks, that we've had some bumps in the road. We've had some back and forth. We've had some things happen, and our friend Lily von Stupp has an incredibly busy schedule in the next few months. So with her Hollywood Burlesque Festival coming up, and then she's committed to meetings, and she has all sorts of things going on. And look, me too. I mean, last week I was in Milwaukee, and this would be the show where I would tell you all about what happened in Milwaukee. We're going to have to hold on to that a little bit because I haven't been to Milwaukee yet. Or have I? I've been to Milwaukee a couple of times. Actually, Milwaukee's my second home. I'm not going to lie to you, folks. I've been there easily 30 days this year because everybody loves Milwaukee. I can't tear myself away from the place. Oh my God, it's so great. Yeah, hey there. Because I love bratwurst, and it just does not taste the same unless I'm having it in Milwaukee. So I'll go there. I'll go to a Brewer game. We'll see Drunk Ted. We'll have a great time. So perhaps I saw Drunk Ted at the Packer game last week because I know you're in here, you're tuning in, and you're like, Mike, what happened at the Bears-Packers game? Well, I can't tell you just yet, folks, because again, Lily's hogging the time machine to go scissor herself in an elevator. I can't borrow it. I want to borrow it. I want to go forward and see what happened and then do the great show for you. But unfortunately, Lily has hopped in because she wants to queer off with herself. And good for her. I don't mind. But I am unable to do that. I do not have the power of time travel that our friend Lily does. And I certainly don't have the strong thighs that our friend Lily does. So Here I am to tell you that this show is occurring in the past, even though you're listening to it in the present. And I'm betting because it is so good, you'll listen to it in the future. Oh, Jesus. This is definitely a repeat show. This is one you're going to listen to over and over, folks. Hey, I don't say this often. This is a classic. Someone said that once about like a couple weeks ago. They were like, dude, this one's a classic. And I'm like, okay. That's fine. As classic as it can be when I'm in a fucking stripper's kitchen, dodging bling. So, hi. This show this week is different because and also tell you this, I'm recording this right now, and then when I'm done recording this, I'm gonna have to record the ramp out, of course, which you're going to hear at the end of this show, and then I have to record last week's show. Because I wanted to go backwards, and I'm like, well, you know what? It's fine. Let's just get this one out of the way, and then we'll do the other one. And poor Lily's got to keep track of all this, and who knows what's going to happen. And you know what? I'll tell you what. Last week you heard a great Lou Reed song from our friend David Hernandez because Lou Reed passed away. We don't even have that yet. That doesn't exist. I'm confident in telling you now that I'm so confident he's going to finish it and it's going to be done that I'm telling you about it now. But there is a very good chance that it never sees the light of day because it was planned on being done. And who knows? David's got a ton of shit going on back home, so I don't know if he's going to be able to get to it, but he might. And what's funny is he wrote me, he's like, dude, I think I got a Lou Reed cover for you, but I just got to square it up. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. But when will you get it? Because Lily needs to know when to put the show up, and she's got to put the show together. He's like, I might have it by tonight. And I said, all right, well, I go, do you want me to close the show with it? Or should I put it somewhere in the middle in the promo slot? I go, how's it work? I go, is it, what do you think? He goes, well, it's your decision. I go, well, what song is it? And he goes, what fun is that? I said, good point. Shh. So I don't even know what song it is right now. It may not even exist, quite frankly, but he's planning on doing it, or he mentioned it to me that it was going to be done. So if you heard it last week, you loved it. But if you have not heard it, please disregard this past 3 minutes, as I told you about something that does not exist. All right. So the thing is, Lily could not record this week. I'm actually back. I'll tell you that. I'm back from Milwaukee. I'm in Los Angeles right now. As you hear this, folks, I am walking the streets of L.A. I'm here to live and die in L.A. I don't know why we spend our lives here. I wonder why in L.A. To live and die in L.A. That album holds up. That soundtrack by Wang Chung, that's a fucking great album. It's really good. Our friends at Rock Solid just had Wang Chung in studio recording. And I told Pat, I go, you got to ask them about the Live and Die in L.A. album and how it's kind of like a precursor to electronic music. It was influenced by that. And how do they feel about electronic taking over now? And would they think that they could make relevant music? And he's just like, oh, these are all great questions. I will be sure to ignore them and never ask them about them. He may have talked to me. I haven't been able to hear the Wang Chung episode. I'm very backed up to Rock Solid. I'm still in episode 1. So as soon as I get through that, I understand there's been some changes recently, so I can't wait to catch up to those. But good for them. They're all doing very well. Never Not Funny presents them and presents them very solidly. So, rock solidly, I should say. It presents them very rock solidly. God, look how my head works. All right. So again, folks, I'm in Los Angeles as I record this. Right. Well, as I record this, of course, I'm in Los Angeles. But as you listen to this one this week, I am in Los Angeles. And I was ready to do a show. I got off the plane. I landed yesterday, Tuesday the 5th. That's if I were recording it on Wednesday the 6th, but you're listening to it on Thursday the 7th. So 2 days ago, I got off a plane.
Oh my Christ.
So I was in town. Look, yeah, it is a lot of math. I don't know if I like it. You know what's funny? I'll tell you this. I was telling my trainer, John, today, the story of the candy bars. And I was explaining that the giant license plate of chocolate has 7 ounces, and then there's the one that has 4.4 ounces, but then there's the small one that has 2.6 ounces. So sometimes if you buy 3 of the 2.6 ounces, if it's on sale, then it equals the 7 ounce, but I like the bigger. And he just goes, I love the fact that you're good at math because of chocolate bars. I said, nothing's changed since I was 8, John. So that's that, folks. I'm in town. I landed on Tuesday the 5th, and then we were going to naturally record on Wednesday the 6th. But unfortunately, Lily is very busy, and she's accommodating me this week because wait, I'm really gonna blow your mind now. I'm recording this on Tuesday the 29th. This isn't even Wednesday the 30th. That's right. It's Tuesday the 29th. You're listening to it on November 7th. And I tell you, a lot of podcasts out there will bank a show. They'll do a couple shows and they'll just throw it in. They're like, it's evergreen. We'll just throw it in there. Fuck that. I need to tell you the time of day. I need to tell you the second. You know what I'm wearing. And it's important that you know what I'm wearing too. I'll tell you that because I am telling you what, I am wearing hobo clown pants. I thank God for my belt. Because I feel like I got to tie a rope around my waist like a fucking hillbilly. Because, and you know what's funny? This sucks. Because This is what I was going to talk about on last week's show. But now I'm getting into it on this week's show, which is actually 2 weeks from now. Certainly not this week's show. This week's show, holy God, folks. Even I'm getting lost now. I can't lie. But the point is, this isn't really a show. It is. It's certainly going to keep your attention and hopefully have you entertained for a while. But unfortunately, I have to step out. And I know some of you are upset about that. But unfortunately, real life interferes. And I will tell you what, in 6 years, how often has it interfered? You can count it on 2 hands. 2 hands?
One.
Well, I had swine flu once.
Yeah.
We had to do that.
We're gonna break down the
Let's do that, folks. I had swine flu one time. Lily was deadly ill another time.
clip show.
Well, clip shows, yeah, but why do we do clip shows? I don't even know.
Leap year.
I do remember, yeah, that's true. And Washington's birthday, we took that 1 week off. And then, of course, we have the week in between with the interlude. Folks, all right, look, granted, I put out a semi-regular podcast. That's fine.
You're weekly, trust me.
But for 6 years, folks, for 6 years, I've done my best to be here right now in the big chair for you. So you got to cut me a little bit of slack. And you got to cut our producer friend, Lily Bunch, up a little bit of slack because she's putting on the Hollywood Burlesque Festival, which right now I think she's $30,000 out of pocket for.
Buy a ticket.
So if she needs to take a Wednesday to go out with a tin can and solicit dimes, you got to let her do it. She's out there with fingerless gloves and just rattling a Folgers can. Let's give her some goddamn time and money and space. And now we're back to the time-space continuum, which I've ripped a hole in, folks, to tell you all about the fact that this is now October 29th. Tomorrow is October 30th. You know what you'll hear then? The show I'm about to record in an hour. And I actually got here early today, too, because I'm leaving on a plane tonight at 8:30. Like, I have to be in the car. So I have to be in the car at 8:30 to go to LAX and then hop on the plane. Ah, dudes. Listen, if a podcaster leaves Los Angeles on a plane going 21,000 miles an hour, and another podcaster leaves Sacramento on a train going 14,000 miles an hour, then how useless is this anecdote? So, my point is, I'm here talking. I'm doing this opening for you because I can't just put out something without original content. And I know you're sitting there going, oh, you can. That would not be a problem with us. Feel free. If it's just you spitting out fucking numbers like an old Wall Street ticker in a 1920s movie, we can fucking pass. No problem. Jesus Christ, this whole show is like holding that little ticker tape like from the old fucking... Oh my God, this Talks in Tokyo have crashed. I love that I presume anybody likes this, like at all. Like anybody would be interested in hearing it, or they want to know anything about fucking numbers. Nobody cares. You know who likes this show? Dustin Hoffman in character as Rain Man. He's the only one. Count some fucking matches, Mike. All right, so it's necessary for me to include this. Not for you, but for me, because I feel stupid just putting on a naked fucking show. If I just threw something up, you'd be like, dude, what the fuck? Well, now I'm here, right? We're having a conversation. Now I can hear all your complaints. So Lily and I actually talked about this a few weeks ago. We were trying to figure out how we were going to make this work. And so, because her schedule's weird, my schedule's weird, and her schedule is actually going to be weird even going forward. So we might be recording on late at night and some other days. I don't know, man. She's got a thing and it's crazy. So I'm doing my best to accommodate her because she's juggling fucking hormones and all sorts of bullshit. I mean, she's just...
Funny because we're recording today because you're gone tomorrow.
Yes, but we're recording, but this is for the next week when you can't record.
For the following week, I can't do Wednesday, but you can't do Tuesday. So really, it's your fault that we're recording 2 shows this week.
No, because we record on Wednesday.
Yes, but I couldn't record on Wednesday, and you can't accommodate it.
Right, so you can't record on Wednesday, and I record on Wednesday, and that means it's your fault.
But that's not true because we're recording on a Tuesday to accommodate your schedule.
Charge my fucking phone.
I love this is all my fault.
It is kind of. No, this week is clearly my fault. But they're going to get a normal show this week, but it's going to be shorter because I got to get the fuck out of here.
For being gone too long.
Look, is it my fault that America wants to spend time with me? As a matter of fact, I was pissed at this dude on my fucking Facebook page. And again, what a shock. What a surprise. Hold on. This could be a rerun from fucking year whatever. Because I needed a ride to LAX, and I just throw it out there. Because again, I've driven myself the past few times, and I think we've heard how that fucking went. So I'm like, I need somebody to chaperone me. I need a chauffeur. I need somebody to take care of me and tuck me in and put me on the goddamn plane and pin a note to my shirt that says, "Please show this man to his window seat." So I threw it up on fucking Facebook, and I'm like, hey, anybody who wants to go ahead and give me a lift, and that'd be great. And some dude wrote, hey, I think cabs go that way, and you don't have to buy dinner either. Sir, again, you would have me deprive my public of my presence? Is that what you want? And also, you obviously don't know me. I buy dinner for every cab driver I've ever ridden with. It's the only good thing you can do. It's really nice. It's better than a tip. Ask any cab driver you meet. Hey, you. Would you rather have $3 or a plate of curried goat? So again, this is technically a lot of your fault. Some of it is mine as well, but that's fine. But this week, the week that is my fault that I can't record on a Wednesday, they're getting a show, even though it is a truncated show, which means I'm doing it from the inside of a trunk. But next week, that's this week, this is the one you're hearing. Oh my God. I fucking talked myself into a goddamn circle. Whatever. So you're hearing this on Thursday, November 7th. And I look, as much as I'd love to keep going on and on, folks, I'd love to go ahead and do it but I can't. I have a show to do. So as much as I'd love to do a show, I can't because I have a show I got to get to. So we knew one of these weeks we were going to be using a clip, and we were trying to figure, and I'll tell you this, all right, let's peel the onion on this a little bit too. I'm a little pissed off. Because we didn't finish our schedule. Like, we didn't sit down and really bang out what we were going to do. And I didn't know Lily wasn't going to be available certain weeks. I knew I wasn't available one week, but I was like, well, I can come in and do a shorter show. But I didn't know she wasn't going to be available the next week. So I threw up the Austin show in the body of another show like 2 weeks ago. When in fucking reality, I should have saved the Austin show, and we should have done that this week. And then you would have heard the Austin show and everything would have been great. And everybody would have been like, there would have been kudos and everybody would have loved it. And you would have heard me talking about paper towels and everybody would have been happy. But instead, Lily didn't tell me that she couldn't record that week. So I burned that show a couple weeks ago. So now I don't know, like I was saying to Lily, I go, I don't know what we can do. And we thought of a couple things. There was an idea, and it's so funny. I always do this. Lily's like, dude, I don't know if I'm going to have any time to do a show. And I go, that's fine. I've got a great idea. And then I propose an idea that is 13 times the work that she does any normal week. Because what I wanted to do this week was I just wanted to do a show of all spots. All commercials. Like all the bits that we've done from the Mike Schmidt Podcast Network. Because there's some we haven't aired, there's some that we haven't, but literally that's got to be 8 hours of work for Lily to sit here and edit together the spots, and then I have to pick them and I have to list them for her, and she's got to fucking find them.
The real hard part.
Bullshit. No, bullshit. I genuinely thought of you when I didn't pick this because I know how hard that would be because it's hard enough for you to go ahead and jam my voice into whatever the fuck. But then to have to go ahead and build the spots, and then I have to make sure you have the spots. It was a lot of cross-pollination. It's a lot of me talking to you and a lot of you talking to me, and half of that at least sounds bad. So I really wanted to do that. So eventually sometime in the future, you will hear a bunch of spots and songs and that'll be just it. But I didn't do that this week because again, it would have been a lot of hard work for our friend Lily, who's right now, I wish you could see her as I'm saying these things, folks. She has a poker player visor pull over her eyes and she's just writing notes about the Hollywood Burlesque Festival. She's like not even paying attention. She's like, I need to figure out what's going on. She's twirling. She's practicing tassel twirling, which is not unpleasant. I will not lie. But at the same time, we're trying to do a goddamn show here. I've got to concentrate, obviously, because this I think you've heard so far. This show is all the product of intense concentration. So I didn't know what to do. We burned Austin a couple of weeks ago, and I shouldn't have burnt it. But I mean, when I say burned it, I mean I used it. I mean, I loved it. I thought it was really great and really funny, and I thought it served a purpose, and I wanted you guys to hear it as a commercial for the live stuff. But then also we knew we had the Podfest coming up, but then I decided I'm not using that audio. And a lot of you have reached out. I'll be talking about this in last week's show, about how you reached out to try to get to fix the show. Well, I'll explain why later. I won't explain. I explained why last week, not later. I mean, I'll explain it later today, but not to you guys. You'll have heard it last week. So please disregard everything I just said. Anyway, fast forward right now through this. So what we're bringing to you this week, folks, and some of you have already heard it. I recognize that. We did a thing about a year ago for people when I did Bridgetown. When I say a year ago, I mean 6 months ago. If you donated to the show, you got the copy of the Bridgetown performance. And I didn't care for the Bridgetown performance. I mean, I cared for me. I thought it was fucking hysterical. But it's the room is mic'd weird and stuff, so it's strange. But I did send it to some of you, so some of you could very likely right now you could turn the iPod off if you'd like. You could unplug your iPod vagina because you don't need to hear this again, or you own it. You may actually own the Bridgetown show. But I am bringing you the Bridgetown show this week because again our schedules have conflicted and I am not here to do a show. And but I wanted to try to do as much as I could here to tell you about it up top. And now I've got to go and record last week's show. Fucking strange. But this is me live at the Bridgetown Festival this year, the Bridgetown Comedy Festival in Portland. So go ahead and grab some Voodoo Donuts and grab some Pock Pock Chicken Wings and settle in and listen to me being live and funny in a cavernous room.
Please welcome Mike Schmidt.
Hey! It's sad when I can hear individual hi mics. That's probably not good for the show itself. Hi, Mike. Oh, I'll just come around and shake hands individually. We'll all have a good time. It'll be fantastic. I am here. I'm excited. Thank you for coming out. That's so nice, especially because there is a huge show up the street that I wanted to see myself, actually. And if it's okay with you, I've arranged for a shuttle and we can all go. That'll be fantastic. Our friend Peter Serafinowicz is over there, who is an English person. He's very funny. And I met him in this very room the other day, and I recognized him from his voice, because I don't know the guy. And I walk up to him, and he says he's Peter, and I go, fuck, wait a minute, what's your last name? Which is always a good way to meet somebody. And he goes, Serafinowicz. And I said, oh, I follow you on Twitter, dude, and that thing you did on YouTube with the KFC thing, it's hysterical, it's so great. He goes, oh my God, we're doing a whole show of shorts, including that short here at the festival. I said, that's amazing. He goes, it's so good, I can't wait for you to come, you're going to love it. I said, when is it? He said, Saturday at 4 o'clock. I said, Peter, fuck you, seriously, because not only can't I see you, but now I know nobody's coming to see me. You've destroyed it. Serafuckowitz, that's right, that's what I call him. I just met the man and I dropped that on him. That didn't happen. What if none of that happened? I never even met the guy. I don't know what's on YouTube. I've never watched it. Who the fuck is that guy? I made it up. All right. It is I will tell you this. All right. So this is who here has never heard the podcast? I cannot see hands. If you're raising hands, I saw a movement of some kind. It could be rats. It could be anything in this fucking room. It's so funny. When they invite you to do a festival, I will tell you this. I get invited to the festival, and you hear festival, what do you think of? You think of frolicking kittens and excitement. You think it's going to be fantastic. And then you show up, and your show is in the theater from hardcore. What the fuck is that? Literally, I'm going to talk. I expect to see George C. Scott flinching through every fucking thing that I say. George Ski Scott. He's here. So I come here. So who hasn't heard the podcast? Clap. That'd be cool. Awesome. All right. You're hitting your leg. You couldn't even bother to use a second hand? Oh, yeah. I'm not worth putting a fucking drink down? Seriously? You went through 9 mic checks. We did an individual mic check for every member of the fucking audience, and you can't put a drink down? God damn it, I'm worth it. Yeah, you heard it. Step right up and clap with both fucking hands. I'm an entertainer, for fuck's sake. By the way, I'm an entertainer. Hey, there's Paul Goebel on his way in. Come on in, Paul. Plenty of seats. The back 3 rows are reserved. It's exciting. I was over by the bar. I met our friend Anthony. He actually saw me last night. Here's Anthony's pep talk to me, by the way. I'm freaking out. I get a little weird doing shows, and I grip a little bit. And by the way, the reason there were so many mic checks is because I had asked them if they could record this so I could possibly use it in the future. And that was until 2 of you showed up in a raincoat with a fake mustache on. So then I finally walked over to them, and they're doing 18 mic checks, and they're counting in foreign languages because that's entertaining. And I walk up and I go, dude, is this mic check like because you think I'm going to record this for a CD? And they go, you're not recording it? You're not releasing it? I go, probably not. There's 9 people here. Why would I do that? I'm unpopular enough. I don't need to cement it by releasing some shithole in a fucking porn theater. I'm sitting down there in the pit. It's funny, you guys, because literally this is, again, up here, it's not glamorous as a theater. However, the good news is on the off hours, it doubles as an uncomfortable chair museum. So that's good. You're experiencing... Fuck. So I come in, and I'm sitting here in the pit, right? And there's like 4 couches and a chair. And the whole time, I'm just imagining, because there's black lights, and this entire thing is just a mess. It's a hole. I didn't go behind the curtain because I don't want to see Carrie Elwes chained to a radiator. That's going to be fucking terrible. A little fucking doll on a tricycle. Ha, who wants to play a game? Come on in, folks. Plenty of seats available. Or leave. You can do that. You like, literally, she turned out an ankle like, I don't think so. It's just me talking. Pull up a chair. So I sat down there, and there's couches, and those couches are brutal. Like, because I have a fear of like secondhand filth, which I don't like. I don't like firsthand filth either. I got to be honest with you. Hold on. I don't want to put myself into a different filth paradigm. I don't like any filth. However, secondhand filth I have a great fear of, because secondhand filth will bring bugs and insects and terribleness. But I still sat in those fucking couches down there, and they're just gross. And because again, it's dark in here, and I just thought of every goth girl getting finger blasted down there on those fucking couches. Show me how you did that, Tro. And the sad hand jobs they had to give to escape their boyfriends. And these guys release all over the couch cushions, and I'm sitting on those. I actually sat down. As a conscious male, I decided to sit there. You could boil one of those couch cushions and get a baby with Marilyn Manson makeup all over its face. Fuck. So I'm here, and like half of you know me, and half of you are my friends, and thank you for coming. And the one lady who didn't clapped, thank you. I hope you stick around. If you don't, there's a door. Listen, here's the thing. Just because I refer to you, we don't have to chat. We really don't. Although, actually, maybe that'd be much more interesting. Come on up, folks. Let's have a discussion. My podcast usually is just me talking, but why don't I talk to the lady in the gray hoodie? That's my guest. Perhaps if we would have put that on the poster, I'd have more people here. Here's Mike Schmidt and his guest, the lady in the gray hoodie. Holy shit, lying around the block. Poor Anthony, the bartender, wouldn't be making 0 tips. I just met Anthony. Well, I met Anthony yesterday. He was bartending yesterday. I didn't meet him. He was there. And I'm over there, and he's like, day 2, huh? And I said, I'm excited. And he goes, oh, you were here last night. You were kind of funny. Thanks, Anthony. I appreciate that. I'm sure the empty chairs did nothing to cement that for me, but I'm glad you chimed in. And then he goes, man, I'm going to go smoke before you start. I said, good plan. He goes, nah, I'll wait till you start. Ha ha ha! Of course you will. Let's get one less person in the fucking building, by all means. Step out, Anthony, because you're not going to be busy at the fucking bar. Fuck. I got on a plane, man. I flew here for this shit. And granted, they paid for it, and good for them. And believe me, Andy Wood right now is red penning the ledger and going, never fuck it again. That was a waste of $200. Actually, Andy's not even here. He went to Sarah Finowitz the second I said it was okay to stop doing mic checks. He climbed he's got in a sidecar. It's British. It's a British show, so he's got a motorcycle with a sidecar, and they hustled over. Is that a British thing? I have no clue. All right, By the way, so you haven't heard the podcast, Lady in Gray Hoodie. This is what it is. I know that seems weird. It's literally just me talking. And fuck, my friends are here. I was going to tell you that. My friends came to the show, and by my friends, I mean my buddy Russ and his wife. And I have other comedian friends who are here at the festival, and they aren't doing shows right now. Guess what? They're not here. They decided they didn't need to show up either. The lure of a dartboard and a fucking beer kept Mike Siegel out of the room. I don't know what happened. I'm staying in a room with that fucking guy. He knows I'm going to ask him later what he thought of the fucking show. He's a bet away. So what'd you think, Mike? Oh, I thought it was great. You weren't there, motherfucker. I didn't see one set of cheekbones in the fucking room. You weren't here. God damn it. And the best part, he was fucking here when I got here. And then decided to fucking leave even before I came up. Look, if you watch me rant and fucking lose it for 10 minutes and decide to bail, I'm on board with that. Gray hoodie, out. But fucking Siegel knows me. We're sharing donuts in the room. I've seen him in his underwear, and he fucking leaves. God damn it. By the way, I've seen him in his underwear. That's the best thing I'm going to say all day. That was worth the plane flight, by the way, to see Siegel in his underwear. Oh, that's a good-looking fella. Jesus Christ. All right. So my friends are here. Russ is here with his wife, Annie, and then they bring their friend, whom I've never met. I don't know this gentleman. I did my friend Russ's podcast, and apparently this guy is on the podcast as the dumb one. I think that's what he is. If he's not, after today, he certainly will be, because this fucking guy, I go in, and I'm sitting on the sad couches, and I see Russ and Annie, and everybody's very nice, and then their friend Carl is with them. And I meet Carl. It's my first time meeting Carl, and I shake his hand, and he seems nice. And before I go on stage, I kind of try to think about what I'm going to say. So actually, by the way, if you think this is all off the top of my head, I wrote all of this. I saw you walk in, lady in gray hoodie. I planned that entire fucking hunk. Oh, and it was a hunk. So I'm down there, and but I before the show, I'm fucking weird. Like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to say, because it's kind of stream of consciousness, and I try to just talk about, I talk at the speed of my head. That's what the podcast is. That's how I bill it. Talks at the speed of his head. Is that Jim Bruce? Hi, Jim. Good to see you. We were just talking about you. We weren't really. We were sort of. I said I had friends here who weren't here, but now you're here, so you're off the hook. What the fuck was that, Ripper? Easy. So I meet Carl, and he's talking to me, and he's like, oh, man, I'm fascinated by what you do. You're so funny. I said, thanks. And I'm sitting in the pit. I'm trying to learn jokes because I kind of take a breath, and I figure out what I'm going to fucking talk about. And to the point where I freak out about it so much that my friend Rich is here, and like an hour ago, I texted him to see what stories, like, what should I talk about? Like, so stupid. He's a civilian. He's not talent. Why the fuck am I asking him? Hey, friend, would you be sad if I told stories you've heard before? And even if you said yes, I would have fucking done them anyway. I don't care what you think. But I just want somebody to absolve me from having to work. Like, I don't want to have to memorize anything or think. Can I just do that on autopilot and do that thing that I always do? Yes, of course you can. Thank you. But I'm going to do it anyway. So you looking from the doorway, you can come in. There are plenty of seats. Or get out of my view because I feel like I'm freaking you out. Pardon me? Oh, you're the door worker. Well, I apologize for making you waste your afternoon. I can tell you that. What was the qualification? Can you count to 13? You'll work the Schmidt show at 4 o'clock. Bastard. All right, so I'm down there. I'm in the pit, and it's me and Russ and Annie and Siegel and Karen Kilgariff, who's very nice and funny, and Carl. And then Carl, by the way, I wanted to meet Karen Kilgariff. I couldn't get to her because the wall that is Carl had absorbed her. He's like in front of her, and he's talking to her about being Karen Kilgariff, and he's like, hi, I'm Carl the mailman. And you can see she wants him dead. She absolutely wants him fucking dead. But then they talk, and then I meet Karen very nicely because I'm another performer, and I have a right to talk to her. Fuck you, Carl. So then Karen splits, and then I'm down there, and it's me and Russ and Annie and Siegel and Carl. And then Russ and Annie and Siegel are like, well, hey, man, we got like a half an hour. Let's go get some beers or something, right? And Carl's like, yeah, okay, that seems like a plan. And then they get up and they kind of migrate to leave and go get some beer. And they leave, and I'm sitting down there to learn jokes. And then Carl comes back and sits with me. And I'm sitting there. I'm obviously trying to figure out what the fuck I'm going to talk about. And Carl looks at me and he goes, yeah, I'm real excited to see you. I think you're real funny. I said, oh, thanks, Carl. And he goes, so you're recording this for like a podcast or something? What are you going to do? I said, Carl, there's 4 people in the fucking building. Why would I do that? But you know, in fairness to him, when I do the podcast normally, there's one other person in the building. Literally, there's like 4 more people here than there are when I normally do the fucking thing. So I guess it's not a bad question from Carl. And then I said, all right, no, I don't think so, Carl. There's nobody here. And he goes, oh, well, yeah, I think you're great. I'm not a performer, so I'm fascinated by stand-up. And you were talking about last night, and you were talking about bombing. And I'm like, Carl, fuck, you want me to bomb 2 days in a row? Get the fuck out of the pit and leave me alone. So I'm there, and Carl's looking at me, and then he sits there, and he's quiet. Finally, he's quiet for like a minute. And I'm going through my head. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I'm going to talk about. I think of that very funny, hardcore George C. Scott reference. And then Carl looks at me, and he goes, hey, do I have to buy like a separate ticket or something? Like, how do I get in? Is there a... And I'm not kidding you. I just went, Carl, I don't know. I'm the talent, man. I don't fucking work here. He's like, oh, because I don't know if I'm supposed to pay or not. And I go, well, do you have a hand stamp or something? He goes, well, yeah, from the other show. And I'm like, at that point, I just want to fucking fight him. Like, literally, in my head, I'm trying to think of jokes. I'm like, you know what? For an hour, I'm just going to fight Carl on the fucking stage. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to invite him up here. He'll ask me questions, and I'll fucking hit him over and over until he's done, and then we'll walk off and have a good time. We'll wrap him in a gray hoodie and dump him in the fucking Portland River or whatever the fuck I keep driving over. So fuck, man. He's just like, yeah, so what should I do? And he stands up and he's like, seriously, I don't know what I should do. I go to the front. And I literally say, I go, find Siegel, Russ, and Annie. They'll tell you what to do. I'm not your keeper, Carl. We just fucking met. So he gets up and he drifts off. And I'm not kidding. I was like, just exhaled. Finally, fucking Carl is gone. And I'm sitting there. And I think of the very funny Carrie always chased no radiator joke that I thought of. And I'm going in my head, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about because I was debating about stories and what to say to you folks. And then Carl comes back with Tyler, the stage manager. Sure, clap for yourself, Tyler. Why wouldn't you? That strong mic check work of yours deserved a lot more than it got. Hey, what's happening, Portland? You are Portland, horn, rims, and beard. Good to see you. Hi. Yeah, I was talking to you. You didn't shake hands to the audience. You pay some respect to the fucking talent, friend. All right. Have you ever heard the podcast, sir? You have? Holy Christ. Well, good for you. I'm glad you got here, and I'm glad you own a watch. All right, so, folks. So Carl comes back with Tyler, the stage manager, and he looks at me, and he goes, hey, Tyler looks at me, and he goes, hey, is it okay if this guy is your plus one? And I said, what are you talking about? And Carl goes, well, yeah, it's like, I guess you got to buy tickets, but if I'm your plus one, I don't have to buy a ticket. Oh, so you got in for free to fucking bother me for 40 minutes? And what the fuck am I supposed to say? No, he's not my plus one. I demand he pays $15 this hump. So I'm just trying to think of fucking jokes, and I look up, and I'm like, yeah, I guess so. That's fine. And Tyler goes, well, that's okay. He goes, all right, so he's your plus one. He's your guest. And if anybody else comes up, just come to me, and we'll see if we can get him in and maybe you'll have a plus two. And, which made me laugh even harder because I'm like, look around, friends. If a hobo pops his head in and asks if he can nap, let him the fuck in. So my new friend Carl is my plus one today. Carl, who loves me and thinks I'm hysterical, couldn't be bothered to pay to get in. All right. Holy shit, look at the clock move. All right, so, folks. I didn't know what the fuck to do here. I was weirded out because I was going to just tell stories about some things, and I wasn't sure what to tell you about stories about other things, because the podcast itself is just me talking. A lot of what you just saw. That happens, and I'll have a story about something that happened, like a bad thing. Like I did shows last night. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you this story. Why not? This isn't even a story. It's an anecdote. And actually, 4 of you were there. You're going to be bored by this. I apologize. I did stand-up last night, but I did it in the lounge across the way. And I'm used to this, where I can kind of just come out and talk, and people go, wow, that guy's funny, like right away. So all of the work of stand-up is gone because I'm playing to people who actually know me and like me at this point. And that's how I like it. I don't want to fucking work at this at all. I did not get into this business to do any work whatsoever. I want to be paid to be myself and just talk in circles. That's it. I want to chit-chat with a bartender. I want to get fucking goth cum on my jeans and do an hour and fucking leave. So, I want to talk to a moron for half an hour and get him in free. All right, so. Carl, I like you. You're my friend. I didn't mean to use the word moron. That seems strong. But you know what? I really wanted to say moron since the second I saw you, and I don't know why. Like, literally, that was your thing, is like vest and hat and tall and dopey, and I'm just like, that dude's a moron. All right, sorry. I told Andy before the show, I go, dude, I'm going to kind of make fun of everything in the festival. He goes, go ahead, do it. Of course, because he packed up and he fucking left. All right, so. Go ahead, make fun of anything. I'm going to see Sarah Fenowitz. What the fuck was I saying? Carl. Yeah, no shit. They should call this the 40-year-old Carl. Oh, that's another thing. I'll tell you that. Fuck. I got driven over here by a volunteer, and you hop in the car with all these fucking sprites. You know what I mean? All these crazy imps with all this makeup on their face, and they're all like, oh, dude, it's so great. Who wants granola? I mean, fucking terrible. It's Portland. And I get in the fucking car with this girl. Her name's Jen. She was nice. Cute little Asian girl. That's important for the story. It's not. But then again, cute little Asian girl, if it's an Asian girl, cute little is just part of their description, right? Shouldn't you just say that? Cute little Asian girl? Never mind. I'm not going to say that. Just on the off chance some sumo Asian walks in. All right, so. What about me? Fucking Konashiki lumbers in and beats the shit out of me. All right. Konashiki, look it up. He's a sumo. Seconds I came up with that. All right, so. Actually, I wrote that earlier. So I'm in the car with this chick, and I'm in the front seat, and we're driving, and she's showing me Portland. I got in the car at 3, and again, I'm all freaked out about the show. I have to go on at 4. Actually, we have 30 mic checks, and then I get on. That's the name of my album, by the way, 30 mic checks. Actually, you know what I was going to call my mic? I will tell you this, because I have a CD coming out, and oh my God, you can tell how popular it is. And I was trying to think of a name for it, and dude, this is my favorite name ever, but I can never use it because I'm not cool enough to have this be my name. And some of you might get this and some of you might not. If you're old like me, you might. But the name of my microphone, I was going to call it Microphone Fiend. But M-I-K-E, Microphone Fiend, because Eric B. and Rakim, you ever hear the song Microphone Fiend? It's one of the greatest rap songs of all time. And I was like, that'll be the name. It'll be so great. And then I went, you're fat and white. Stop. All right. So, Microphone Fiend. We should just play that in a loop. Right now, I wish I had that. Honestly, I have it on my phone. What if I just played Microphone Fiend over and over until we left? That'd be great. God damn it, I would love it. Yeah, I would love it. You wouldn't care so much for it. Anthony would be thrilled. All right, so I'm in the car with this chick, and she's showing us Portland. And she says, hey, have you guys eaten anywhere cool yet in town? And I was like, oh, man, I went to Pok Pok for Thai food, which was fucking great, and the chicken wings are so good. And I said, I also went to Pine State Biscuits. And that should end that conversation. But instead, she said, oh, really? Well, here's, Waffle Victory, and here's fucking Baba Ganoush. And she's pointing out every fucking restaurant. And I'm like, do you do this with everybody, or just because I'm fat and in your car? Like, I couldn't figure out the level of prejudice that she was reaching. Because it's not like I got in the car and I said, hey, do you have any gong radio stations you could turn on for me? That'd be great. I got to do my show. I should be back in an hour and a half. Can you pick me up and with this shirt starched? That'd be fantastic. I'll give that to you. So what do you do when I'm on stage? You just go build a railroad? How does that work? All right. Sorry, Celestials. All right, so so we're driving and she's talking, and then she says, she's pointing things out of Portland, and then she says, she goes, this is pathetic. And I can't see it. And she goes, behind this building, there's an old guy skate park. Oh. I said, really? She goes, it's so pathetic. These old guys and skateboards. And I said, wow. And she goes, yeah, it's like a 30 and up skate park. Oh, my God. I said, that sounds terrible. And we continue to drive. She goes, so what time's your show? I said, 4 o'clock. She goes, really? Where is it? I go, oh, it's in the MailChimp Theater. She goes, what's it called? I said, The 40-Year-Old Boy. And she's just quiet, and I said, yeah, I left my skateboard in Los Angeles. And then I threw some silverware down the stairs to finish the conversation with her. All right, so. I make myself laugh if nothing else. God damn it. I don't need anybody in used seats. In used seats? I'm talking directly to the seats. That's right, chairs, you motherfuckers. Staring up at me with your crazy eyes. All right. This guy's lost it. All right, so, what if Peter Serafinowicz' whole show is he had a camera showing this? All right. Let's go to a live feed of the Tabor MailChimp Theater and watch an idiot fucking melt down over an empty room. All right, so. All right, come on in, guys. Get out of the cold. Are you performer people or civilian people? Is that Siegel? Good to see you. Oh, Paul? I was going to make fun of you, too, but I didn't. I only made fun of Siegel. All right. Sorry, Mike. Come on in, sir. I see you back there with your crazy shaggy hair. Pop in. That's right. I can see you. There's plenty of chairs. The back, I'm sorry, that row's reserved back there. Please move up here. Ha, ha, ha. Look at the fun we're having. See you later, hat. All right, so, folks. Are we talking again? That sounds fantastic. Let's have a discussion, me and the gray hoodie. Does that have a drawstring? Because you can put the hood over and just fucking pull it as tight as you possibly could. Just peek out of the show. It'd be like a fucking crazy gray-hooded Kilroy staring at me the rest of the time. All right. What were you saying as I shit all over it? What were you saying? I'm sure it's much more interesting than anything I have to say. Skin and boobs? Oh, he's getting booze. Oh, okay. Well, I just said see you later, hat, because I was sad that he was leaving his place. I'm not... it's funny. I will be the one who comments on everything that happens in the room, if that's okay. I mean, I understand... and again, you know what, though? You need to listen to the podcast because you will yell at your fucking iPod vagina the entire time. It'll be fucking awesome. You'll hear me talking in your head, and you'll be like, I don't think that's true, and you'll be having an argument, and people will think you're a fucking maniac. It'll be fantastic. You already had... What? Oh, I see. Let's keep talking. I love the fact that I did the Tanker open mic last night, and I had less people heckling me at that fucking show. I got 9 people in here, and you and I are like, oh, let's pull up a chair. Me and Lady in Gray Hoodie. All right, so I was talking to Siegel. I bored him with what fucking stories I was going to tell. I did the thing I was going to talk about last night when I did the line. Yeah, so you don't care. But this is what the podcast is. I talk. I did a fucking stand-up show yesterday, and again, I like to just talk and just think that everybody's going to like me. So I went on stage last night, and I did that, forgetting that in stand-up you actually have to trick them into liking you at some point. So the guy before me had done a joke, and he used the word retarded. And then he goes, oh, you know what, that's not a word that I would use in front of like special needs people or anything like that. So then he finishes his bit, and then I went up on stage, and I go, Jeff said he would not use the word retarded in front of special needs people. That's the perfect time to use it. Those people have no idea what you're talking about. Silence. Silence. To the point where they actually held up signs that said silence. As if they were on a golf course. They were just, does not deserve anything, sir. All right. Whoa. All right. I'm sorry, I'm freaked out about this wristband on my watch and the same thing, because they gave us the wristband, and I don't listen very well. So they put it on my wrist, and like literally the first thing they said was, it doesn't come off, don't tighten it. So then they put it on, and then I pulled it up like I was a TV newscaster putting on a fucking tie. Like I just straightened it, and now I'm at the same thing with my watch. All right. I will tell you this, folks. I've had a bunch of shit jobs in my life. 1986, I moved to California from Chicago. I was 19. You know what I wasn't doing when I was 19? Blowing up the Boston Marathon. How the fuck did that guy do that at 19? When I was 19, I was pissed that Sammy Hagar replaced David Lee Roth and Van Halen. And I didn't blow anything up. I could have. I should have. Honestly, I had better reason than that fucking guy did. Ball bearings, nails, and a fucking pressure cooker. I should have fucked somebody up. 51, 50, fucking 50. You're going down, friend. The Red Rocker. Yeah, blood on your face from a pressure cooker going off right in your fucking mug. Fuck you, Claudio, the mechanic who referred fucking Sammy to Eddie. That's inside that nobody cares. It's a long story. The only reason Sammy Hagar met Eddie Van Halen is because they had the same fucking Lamborghini mechanic. How fucking white and rich is that story? All right. Like in the old days, that story would have been they bought at the same slave market. Like that's how white and rich that story is. Sammy Hagar, he actually owns slaves. Did you know that? He owns Dominican slaves. All right. I was listening to that Boston stuff. Oh my God, it was fucking crazy. It was crazy. The whole time I couldn't stop listening to the thing. And when I heard he was 19 and he shut down the whole city. And first of all, I don't know what the fuck they're doing setting off a bomb in Boston anyway. That's fucking crazy. Boston is like a rage Voltron just waiting for anybody to do something stupid so they can fucking stomp on them. Literally, anything bad happens in Boston, the 5 members of House of Pain get together and put their rings together and just turn into a giant Celtics-wearing monster and fucking just step on every black person within a 20-mile radius. So I was 19. I moved from Chicago to California, and I had to get a job. And my older brother Lenny was out there, and he had already established himself as a very popular member of the Little Caesars organization. So he was an area director, my brother. He wasn't just a fucking, he wasn't a manager. He ran stores. Like, he ran a group, like a whole fucking segment of the city. And cities, the county. He was the coward of the county, my brother. So I show up, and he's like, dude, I can get you a job at Little Caesars. I said, okay, that's fine. But the worst part is my brother, when I was a kid, my brother kind of raised me because my dad was a drunk and decided to die when I was young. So my brother was kind of like my dad and my brother, which was fucking weird for the rest of our lives because our relationship was so strange. No matter what happened, he was 12 and I was 9. No matter what age we were, he was 12 and I was 9. So when I was 19, he was essentially, fucking 20. Well, how old was he? I gotta do math now. Holy shit. Don't ever use numbers, folks. That's my tip to you. Whatever the fuck. He's older than me. So I show up and he's an area director and he's playing the role because he's making money and he's driving like a Grand Prix and he's got a blazer with his fucking sleeves pushed up. What the fuck is wrong with you? But it was 1986. I guess you did those things. He actually had my brother's name is Leonard Albert Schmidt. And when he got the job at Little Caesars, he had to get business cards and he had moved to Southern California. So he was L.A. Schmidt on his business cards. And he would hand them out to everybody, you dumb fuck. All right. Meanwhile, I was a fat asshole who needed a free job from him and then made fun of him 20 years later. So he got me a job at Little Caesars, but it was fucking terrible because he was not only my supervisor and not only my boss, but he was my older brother and also my dad, all rolled up into one fucking crazy authority figure that I didn't like. And look, I don't like any authority figures at all. But when it comes in that one package, it's like 4 in 1. It's fucking brutal. So he would be mean to me all the time. He would be more mean to me than he would to other people who worked at Little Caesars. And then I would leave Little Caesars because normally, look, if you have a shit job, like if you work at Little Caesars, you fucking hate it. It's terrible. But when you punch out, you can at least go fucking get high in your car or do whatever the fuck Paul Goebel would do if he worked there. That's fine. But you leave your job, you leave your shit job, any shit job, and I've had shit jobs. I have worked at every fucking serial killer, pizza making, telephone call, survey making, when that seemed like a good idea. You remember that, when people would call up? Excuse me, could you tell me what you think of La Quinta Inns? Fuck you, the All-Star Game's on, asshole. Slam. Sir, I have your address. You do know that, right? Click. I click. So I worked at Little Caesars, and then I would do a shitty job because I hated it. But then I would have to go home, and my brother would consistently tell me what a shitty job I was doing at Little Caesars. And it drove me crazy because I was like, yeah, everybody does a shitty job there, but not everybody has to sleep in the same fucking house as you. It's enough. So I finally had to get out of there. I had to get my own gig. So 19, lived in California, I had no car, I had nothing. So I had to find something close to my house because I'm fat and I don't want to walk. So right next door to my apartment complex was a 7-Eleven. So I walked over there and I applied, and they said, you know what they did? You know what the application was at 7-Eleven? They had me breathe on a mirror. That was it. You're hired. So I got hired to work at 7-Eleven, and the real bonus was when they interviewed me, they go, what shifts are you looking for? I said, I don't care. And they said, well, would you work graveyard? And I've lived that life kind of my whole life. Like, I've always been a guy who stays up super fucking late and then, sleeps in the daytime. And so I didn't mind. I'm like, yes, absolutely. And they're like, you're fucking hired. We need a graveyard guy. I mean, all through, even in school, like in high school, I would stay up all night. And it was just building the fat monster you see in front of you today. I would stay up all night, and at like 2 a.m, I would watch Letterman. In Chicago, Letterman came on at 12:30. So I would sit there and watch Letterman from 12:30 to 1:30. And then at 1:30, I'd watch the new Treasure Hunt, which was a game show. And then I'd watch the dating game from 2 o'clock to 2:30. And then I would make an entire box of macaroni and cheese and eat it every single night. Kraft macaroni and cheese by myself. That's a family dinner. It says it right on the fucking box. Kraft family dinner. Yeah, my family's sleeping away while I'm eating macaroni and cheese and watching the fucking dating game at 2:30 in the morning, and then getting up and missing the bus for school. So I wound up getting the job at 7-Eleven as a graveyard dude. And I worked there for a couple of months, and I'd only been in California for like 9 months when I got the gig. So I wound up working there, and the thing was, I didn't mind being a graveyard guy, but I hated giving away my daytime hours. Because it was fucking California. I mean, I had come from Chicago, and it was snowy and cold in the winter, and now I'm in fucking California, and I'm experiencing the fucking beautiful weather and hot girls and the beach, and I love the smell of the sea, because apparently I'm a Viking. Why would I say the sea? It's the ocean. Idiot. I love the smell of the Dead Sea, folks. Oh, my Christ. So I'm there. I'm working at 7-Eleven. But I'm working graveyard, and it's like 4 nights on, 2 nights off. 4 nights on, 2 nights off. That's the way it worked for me. So what I would do, because I didn't want to give away my daytime hours, I had made friends, and we would hang out in the daytime and go to the beach and hang out. So I would work graveyard, and then I would come home, and I wouldn't sleep. So I would work graveyard all night, come home the next day, and I would not sleep. I would stay up, I'd eat breakfast, whatever, we'd go to the beach, we'd hang out, and then I'd get home, and I might get an hour cat nap before I worked again that night. And then I would work all night, stay up the whole next day, work all night. So 4 days, I would basically stay up 4 days in a row, working graveyard and then being up during the day at the beach. And then on my 2 days off, I would sleep like 30 fucking hours in a row, just to catch up. So it worked well for a while. I would work for a couple of months, and I was going on and on. And my buddy Dennis, I had a friend named Dennis Eggenberg who used to come and hang out with me. And he would actually hang out with me at the fucking 7-Eleven because again, folks, I'm a terrific employee. So he would come over and we would have like jerky eating contests. I mean, just fucking nonsense. And then it sounds ridiculous. And I don't mean like jerky for volume. I mean jerky for speed. Try that shit. I guarantee you, get a fucking Obierto teriyaki strip and try to chew it fast and finish it. Can't happen. You'll fucking ruin your jaw. You'll get TMJ by the time you're done. The J stands for jerky in that equation. Too much jerky. So, fuck, you get too much. Come on. Carl, I hope you're writing this down. That's a great conversation, by the way, too, when you're like, I'm fascinated with bombing. Can we talk about that for a while, Mike? Let it go up for 90 minutes. All right, so 90. Holy shit, I hope not. All right, so we would have that. We'd hang out. And the best part was, when you work graveyard, I'll tell you this, you would get to know the guys, the delivery dudes who would show up in the middle of the night. There was a guy who would deliver newspapers. And again, this has nothing to do with the story, but I have to fucking tell you. This guy would show up and deliver newspapers in the middle of the night, and he was miserable. He was wearing a button shirt that kind of went to here, and his fat gut was out. And he was wearing like fucking destroyed khaki pants that had stains all over him, and he stunk, and he looked miserable. He looked like a guy who delivered newspapers in the middle of the fucking night. So he would show up, and he would bring the newspapers in, and he would have to put them on the thing and cut the zip strip and then walk out. Well, when he started to come in, I would see him, and I go, hey, sir, how you doing? And he would never respond. So then, a couple weeks went by, and I go, hey, sir, morning. Hey, sir, thanks. Hey, how are you? Never answered me. So I was pissed because, pay attention to me, motherfucker, I'm here. So every time he would come in now, I started to get a more elaborate greeting for the guy. So he would walk in, and he had the newspapers, and I go, thank you, sir, for bringing us the knowledge. I love those pants. They look fantastic again today. And then he'd put the thing down, and he'd cut the zip strip, and he'd walk off, and he'd never answer me. Not a fucking thing. So this went on for a month and a half, 2 months. One night I'm there with my friend Dennis, and we're drinking stolen Slurpees, and we're playing fucking stolen lottery tickets. I'm a terrific employee. And we're hanging out, and the dude comes in with the newspapers, and he pulls up. And I go, oh, Dennis, dude, check this out. Because I had told Dennis about him a million times. So finally the guy walks in with the newspapers, and I go, thank God you're here, sir. Many people have been coming in and asking for newspapers, but nobody's been able to get their hands on them. You are the keeper of all of the information for this entire city. The city of Tustin depends on you, and finally, you are here. Thank you. How's it going today? And he cuts the zip strip, and he goes to walk out, and he puts his hand on the door, and he stops. And he looks at me. It's the first time he's ever acknowledged my existence. And he just goes, fucked. And he walks out to his car. 2 months. It finally took all that to get fucked out of the guy. And I'm frozen because it was like the television came to life and talked to me. And I'm looking at him, and Dennis is there, and the door closes with the fucking bell. And I look at Dennis, and we just go, fucked! That's going to live forever! So I'm working, and I'm working 4 days on, 2 days off, and I'm just killing time. And I'm just marking time in my life. I'm miserable, but I don't fucking care. I don't know what to do. And it's funny, I'm like, oh man, I want to be a comic, but I'm doing nothing towards that goal. All I'm doing is trying to earn money and stay afloat. Because I don't want to make any fucking effort. As we know, I'm a fucking nobody, and I don't want to do anything ever that means that I have to put anything of myself out there other than what you're getting right the fuck now. So, that seems weird to tell you that. By the way, I'm a terrible person with no drive. Are you aware of that, folks? Thank you for coming. Just ask these chairs. They know. All right, so, and the people who own this, I should tell you this. I worked there for 2 months, and I developed a friendship with them. It's a guy named Terry and his wife, Denise. And then I'm well-liked. I get along with all the people who work there. And Terry and Denise actually start hanging out with me. Like, they're a little older than me. Well, actually, probably like 38, 40, and I'm 19. And so, but they kind of adopt me as their friend, but they want to smoke me out all the time and all this fucking weirdness, because they think I'm funny. So I'm hanging out with them, and we're at Caro's all the fucking time, and we're hanging out. So, I work 4 days off, 2 days on, 4 days off. So finally, after a couple of months, I work 4 days off. And then the 5th day, which is my first day off, I stay up all day. Again, I've been up 4 days, and then the 5th day I stay up. And at my house, it's now 9 o'clock. I get out of the shower, and I'm about to lay down, and I'm going to sleep for a day. And I'm getting ready, and the phone rings. And it's not like, in the old days, you had to answer the phone. Because there was I had an answering machine, but I just, for some reason, I felt compelled to answer the phone because it might have been Lenny to yell at me, and I needed that. So it wasn't like I could see caller ID and ignore who it was. So I pick up the phone, I'm like, hello? And it was Terry from the 7-Eleven. He goes, Mike, thank God you're home. I said, what's happening? He goes, we had to fire Daryl. Daryl is my graveyard relief. I said, oh, okay. And he goes, I need you to come in tonight. I said, Terry, fuck, man, I can't. I said, I have been awake for like 100 hours in a row. Like I've been up 5 days. I haven't slept. I'm about to crawl into bed and sleep until you need me in 2 days. He's like, Mike, seriously, you have to help me out. We just fired Daryl. It's 9. You'll come in at 10. I don't want to be here all night. You got to help me out. And again, I felt kind of a kinship with them because they were friends. They brought me out and they fucking bought me food and stuff all the time. So I did like them as people. But it still wasn't going to override the fucking fact that I was toasty from the beach too. You're out in the sun and you're getting fucking tan and you're just wiped out. You've been out all day and up for 5 days. And it's that thing where if you've ever stayed up even for like a day or two, you feel like you're underwater. Well, 5 days and all of a sudden you're talking to big fucking rabbits with Jimmy Stewart. I mean, you're out. So I'm floating, man. I don't even know what the fuck to say. And I'm just like, Terry, really, dude, I can't. I have been up 5 days. I will be no good to you. And I said, I automatically shut down. He goes, well, here's the thing. If you come in tonight, I don't want to be here all night. Come in tonight, cover the shift. I will pay you double time for tonight, and then I will give you the next 2 days off paid so you can catch up on your sleep, and we'll pay you. Now, again, I'm 19 with no drive. I have no money. So if a guy offers to pay me double time and then 2 extra days paid at 7-Eleven, that's easily $120. Not money I can walk away from easily, folks. That fuels my up all day at the beach, fish taco, fat guy eating regimen. I need that cash. God forbid I put it away and make a better life for myself. No, I'm sorry. There are tacos with my name on them. So I said, all right, I'll be there at 10. He goes, great. And I will tell you, again, if I had to drive, never in a million years. But the fact that it was right next door to my apartment complex, I can walk over there and just sit down. I'm fine. So I get dressed, and I grab my stuff for work, which when I go to work, I have a radio, a huge boombox, because I think you folks know that I can't live without my radio. Because I'm walking down the street to the hardcore beat while my JVC vibrates the concrete. Sure, yeah, 3 people know what I'm doing. All right, so, look, I'm sorry if you can't understand, but I need a radio inside my hand. What if I did the whole song? All right, so, don't mean to offend other citizens, but I kick my volume way past 10. All right, so, yeah, sure. The ghost of Steve Allen shows up and punches me in the face. So I grab my gigantic boombox, and I also have, because look, it's funny, we have an iPod now. You're like, oh shit, I'll take all of my music collection with me. Slip into the pocket and go. But back then, you know, I'm stupid. I couldn't just bring my radio and listen to the radio. I wanted to bring all of my music with me. So I had a suitcase that was double-sided that held 80 cassettes, like on either side, and it was full. And for some reason, I needed 160 cassettes with me at all times. And what's funny is those cassettes, I had actually stolen them from a previous job. But that's a completely different story that I probably should have told you before this one. I stole the case. I won't lie to you. I actually stole the suitcase because I stole so many cassettes. I'm like, I need something to carry these cassettes in. Boom, steal the suitcase. And by the way, Terry did not know about that, or he probably wouldn't have hired me. That's my guess. All right, so I grab my cassettes, I grab my radio, and I show up at work. I walk over, and I look like hell. I mean, I got out of the shower. I should tell you, I'm fat. Because I'm fat now. I got to be crazy fat for a while. I was like 500 pounds. But at this time, I'm probably like 350. And I look every bit of it. Because right now, I'm fat. I'm around the same, whatever the fuck. Nobody cares. So I was big. I was a big fat dude. So I'm there, and I'm wearing like a purple button shirt. And I walk in, and Terry's just like, thank God you're here. And I set up my radio and my cassettes, and he's gone in nanoseconds. He disappears. So I have to work graveyard, and I have to work there, and I have to stay awake. So I get behind the counter, and here's the secret I'll tell you about graveyard jobs. The first 2.5 hours, 3 hours, busy. People coming in and out. And then, let's put it this way. If it's a weekend, you're busy until 2 o'clock. Because people come in and buy booze. And then from 2 o'clock on, it's a fucking Sergio Leone Western. But, it's actually just the music from one. Jesus. Terrible. But on a regular day, like I was there, it was a Sunday night. Okay? It'll be busy for like the first 2 hours, maybe 2.5. And then you settle into a nice groove of nothing until the morning people come in for their coffee. So I show up at 10, Terry leaves, and I'm working the counter, and I'm helping people, and I'm paying them and taking care of business. And I'm doing everything I can, because even standing up, even talking to people, even working behind the counter, I can feel it. If I stand still, I kind of start to rock. Because I'm not on my regular legs. I'm gone. I've been up 5 days. So I have to kind of lean a little bit, and I have to kind of shake it out and shake my head up. And I start chugging Cokes. Like I'm chugging Cokes to stay awake. And then those aren't working, so I start chugging Slurpees just for the brain freeze to stay awake. Literally like gulping down Slurpees and just going, ah! There's George C. Scott. He's back. So I'm doing that, and it's like 12, and I get through the first 2 hours, and I help people, and then it kind of hits a lull. All right? So about midnight, I'm standing there, and I'm drinking Cokes and stuff, and I go, you know what? Fuck it. Because you can't sit down by the counter. There's no chair. But I can go sit in the office. I'm like, you know what? I'll go sit in the office, because in the office there's a monitor, and I can see anybody who comes in, and I can hear the door chime. I said, I'll be fine. So I go back to the desk, and I sit there, and I've got my arms crossed. I sit in the office chair, and I'm looking at the monitor. And then it's 5 after 12, because you can see it right on the monitor. And the next thing I know, there's a guy in the office. He's talking to me. He goes, Mike, Mike. And I look up, and it's this guy, Greg, who works at the gas station next door. They're closed, but he's friends with the people at the store, and he'll pop in and say hi periodically. He goes, Mike, you can't sleep back here, man. I said, I'm not sleeping. I'm just back here. I'm waiting for people to come in. He goes, you were sleeping. You can't do that. So I go, oh, I'm fine, Greg. And I stand up, and I look at the monitor, and I see on the clock, it's 12:25 a.m. I was asleep for 20 minutes. In a blink. In a fucking blink. Didn't even seem like it went that fast, but it did. So I get up and I walk out. I'm talking to Greg, and he's talking to me, and then he's trying to leave. And I'm trying to get him to stay because it's keeping me awake just to fucking talk to Greg. Like, oh, I wasn't asleep. Hang around, Greg. What'd you do tonight? What's going on? What are you doing tomorrow? He goes, I'm working at the gas station. Okay, well, hey, man, you want to hang out? Let's play some pinball? No, I'm good. I got to go. And finally he splits. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, fuck, I can't do that. I can't sit down. I got to stay awake. And I start to segment the night in my head. I'm like, how do you stay awake? Well, you know what? Stay awake until the newspapers get here, because then the newspaper guy gets in, and that'll make you laugh. And then you can take the USA Today and go read it, because you'll stay awake reading the newspapers. So I plan to stay that way until, usually papers come around 2 o'clock in the morning. So in the meantime, it's now 12:30, and I'm going to stay up till 2. So I do what anybody would do. I turn my radio up as loud as it'll go, and I just start running around the store. When you walk into this 7-Eleven, the counter is an island, and you can walk directly around it to the coffee and stuff. So I get out and I start doing laps. Like I'm actually jogging in laps, and I'm slapping myself in the face to stay awake. And I'm singing at the top of my lungs, and I'm doing Van Halen jumps. Eddie Van Halen would do this like split-legged jump, which I'm not going to do, because if I do it and I bring this fucking stage down, I don't want to know what the fuck is going to happen. I'm fat. This is old. Not a good equation. But literally, I would stop, and I'm playing air guitar, and I'm running up and down the aisles, and I'm singing, and I'm yelling, and I'm fucking punching myself in the face to stay awake, and I'm doing split-legged Van Halen jumps, and I'm like, yeah! And I'm doing anything to be loud and wake myself up to surprise myself and keep myself aware of the situation. So finally, time goes by, and I make it through. And all of a sudden, the papers get here early. They get there at like 1:45. And I'm excited. And the guy walks in, and I'm like, I give him my spiel. But I'm actually half-hearted doing, because I'm so fucking tired. And he puts them down, and I take the USA Today, and I go into the back office. And I take it out, and I start to separate it from purple, from red, from green, because I know what sections I'm going to read. I'm going to read it cover to cover just to fucking stay awake. And I start reading the paper. And then I hear a door chime. So I've got somebody that I've got to help. So I get up from the desk, and I wasn't looking at the monitor. I walk outside, and there's a man in there, and he's getting himself some coffee. And I go, hey, sir, how you doing? He goes, good. I'm just grabbing some coffee. You probably got to make some more here. No problem. I'll take care of it. So I go over there, and I'm making the coffee. We're having chit-chatty bullshit, short talk. And he goes to the counter. I walk through to the front, and he got a small coffee, which is like 80 cents, because this is a million fucking years ago. So I ring it up, and I punch it, and the drawer opens, and there's no money in the drawer. No cash whatsoever. And my face, like I can't even imagine what my face looked like, because it opens, and I just look, and I was still foggy. I didn't know what was happening, and I made this horrible frozen rictus of terror on my face. And I look up at him, and I try to play it off. I'm like, how are you? It's 80 cents. So he hands me $1. And I take it, and I just hustle him out the fucking door. I'm like, all right, here's $1, and here's 2 dimes, and get the fuck out of here before you realize something is fucking terribly wrong. So he splits. And I'm looking at the cash, and I can't figure it out. And I look over, and when he walks out, he walks past my boombox, which is on the floor. That doesn't make any sense. So I walk out. I grab the boombox. I put it on the sink behind the counter. I'm looking at the register, and it dawns on me. I'm still foggy. I'm out there. I don't know what the fuck is happening. All I know is the money's gone, and I'm trying to figure out where the fuck it went. And I realize it's kind of lighter in the store. And I don't know if it's because I'm bad, just woke up. What the fuck? I can't figure it out. But I look over, and it is much lighter in the store, because I look over and I notice that the beer cooler is completely empty. And I'm not talking like, hey, somebody might have taken a couple of cases of beer. I mean fucking gone. I mean, you can look through the glass doors and see the back of the store. There is nothing in the beer cooler. And I'm starting to think that something may have gone wrong. So I realize, oh, by the way, you know what? I look over and I see the clock on the register. It's 2:55 a.m. I was asleep for an hour and 10 minutes. So I immediately locked the beer coolers. Because obviously something supernatural has occurred, and I need to make sure that nothing bad happens again. There's obviously a poltergeist afoot, and I'm going to lock it in those coolers. It's not going to cause havoc out in the real store. So I lock the beer coolers, and then I walk over. I don't know what the fuck to do, so I call Nancy, who's the morning relief. And I go, hey, Nancy, it's Mike. I got robbed. She's like, oh my God, are you okay? Yeah. She goes, so they didn't hurt you? They didn't do anything? You're fine? Are they still there? What happened? No, I'm okay. She goes, do they have a gun or a knife? I'm not sure. She goes, did you call the police? No. Call the police. Call them, and then I'll call Terry. We'll all be over there right away. Oh my God, just relax. But don't panic. Be careful. So I call the cops. And Terry lives close. So he and Nancy walk in with the cops at the same time. And they're like, what happened? And I said, I'm not really sure. I don't know. It's all kind of a blur at this point. So the cops come in and they start asking me questions. They go, well, what do they look like? I go, I didn't really get a good look at them. And they said, well, were they wearing masks or something? I'm not sure. I don't know. I couldn't answer that really for sure. And then Terry goes, well, I tell you what, we got the security cameras running, so why don't we just go back and look at the tape, and maybe it'll jog your memory. We'll get a good look at these guys. I'm like, great. So I go in the back. They leave Nancy out front to work the register, and I show up. It's me, the cops, and Terry in the back room. And he goes, what time did this happen? I go, I don't know, like 1:45 or something. He goes, 1:45? It's 3:15. You're just calling us now? I said, yeah, it's a shock to all of us. So he puts in the tape and he rewinds it, and the cops are asking me a bunch of questions that I have no fucking answer for. And he's like, all right, here we go. And he hits the tape. He starts it at 10 o'clock. And it's in fast motion. So I should tell you, I look like a fat, ridiculous Benny Hill. I walk in and you see Terry and he says goodbye to me, and then you see me just like helping people until midnight, and then you see me disappear. And I'm gone. And then you see Greg walk in. And then Greg walks in, and then you see me and Greg come walking out of the back. And we're talking, and you see Greg trying to leave and me not letting him go. And he's trying to get out the door, and I'm talking, and then Greg splits. And then you see me behind the counter, and again, I had a mullet like down to here. I weigh 370 pounds, fucking button shirt, awful sweatpants, pajamas, terrible. Hated life, hated myself, even more than now. And I'm fucking standing there, and you just see me make this conscious decision to go, all right, well, it's time to act stupid so you can fucking stay awake. And I just start slapping myself in the face at fast Three Stooges speed. And one of the cops is just like, Mom. So then I run. You see me run, and I'm running in circles in fast motion around the fucking island. And I stop every once in a while, and I'm like, yeah! And I do a Van Halen jump. And I'm screaming in the air, and I'm yodeling, and I'm like stomping around, like waiting for the Wild Things to show up. There's a rumpus at 7-Eleven, folks. I'm moving, I'm running, I'm hitting myself in the face, I'm jumping, I'm sliding, I'm air guitaring, I'm fucking blah, 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 blah. It's awful. All in fast motion. Terry makes his face like, what the fuck happens when I'm not here? And the cops are just looking at me like, oh, dude, I can't wait till the robbed part. So I'm jumping around. Then you see the paper guy show up. You see me take the paper, and then I go off screen for a while. We've got the clock there. It's moving fast. At 1:50, a man comes in. He comes to the counter with a Coke. He puts it down and he waits. He waits. Kind of looks around. And he just fucking puts like $1 down, puts his money, grabs his Coke, and walks out. So then you see headlights, and a dude walks in. It's 1:55, so he's on a beer run. He gets a case of beer, and he walks up to the counter. He's standing there, case of beer. He's waiting. He's waiting. He actually goes, hello! Kind of looks around, grabs the case of beer, and he walks out. 5 minutes later, he comes back with a friend. His friend goes toward the back of the restaurant, or the 7-Eleven, and he goes to the counter. And he's standing at the counter, and he's kind of leaning forward. And I figure out exactly what they're doing. The other guy went to find me. And he comes upon my fat ass snoozing away in a fucking office chair. And he gives his friend the high sign, and his friend leans over, bangs on the register, it opens up, he scoops out all of the bills, slams it closed, and he runs out. 5 more minutes goes by. Comes back in a third time. And this time, he's got some swagger to him. He doesn't run or hurry. He kind of just moseys into the store. And he comes around the counter this time. Because again, his friend's got eyes on me. He knows that I'm in fucking REM sleep at this fucking point. He goes behind the counter, and he starts to work on the safe. Now in 7-Eleven, they have a time-release safe. So you have to push buttons, and then the money comes out. You only get like $20 at a time, and then you have to wait 5 minutes to get the change. It's to thwart robbers. Well, I think they never understood that there would one time be a robber who had all night to work on the safe. He pushes a button and the tube comes down. He gets the first 20 and he starts pushing buttons and it's making a noise because I know the noise it'll make. And this is all in fast motion. He starts hitting the safe. Then he starts yanking on it. He starts yanking on the fucking door and punching the top of it, just trying to get it open. And then he's sitting there. He's on the floor. This guy is me at this point. He's me. He's an employee of the 7-Eleven Corporation. If anybody comes in, he's got to help them and change them out of his pocket from the money he fucking ganked. He's sitting there tugging on this fucking safe, and he sits there and he looks around, and he looks under for something to open the safe with. He looks under the sink, and he sees a hammer. He takes the hammer, and he just starts fucking banging on the safe. Metal hammer, metal safe. I am still fucking asleep in the back office. I don't wake up. I don't even think I moved. I don't know. But he's banging heavily on the fucking safe, and I'm dreaming in the back. So he can't get the safe open. He's pounding it with the fucking hammer, metal safe, huge noises, and finally he puts it down. He's like, God damn it. You can see him just frustrated. So he looks around for something else. And he decides, you know what? Fuck this safe. He sees a huge box that we use to carry all of the cigarettes to and from the back. He takes the box, and he just starts filling it with every cigarette in the fucking store. He steals all of the cigarettes off the shelves. Every carton, every Lucy, every fucking thing. He throws it in this box, and he stands up, and he walks out. 5 minutes go by. Comes back a fourth time. And this time when he walks in, again, he yells for his buddy. Like I see him like, do you see that? And he kind of disappears off camera. And at this point, I think they're comfortable with the fact that I'm never going to wake up. So the two of them, you see them go over, and there's a camera angle. And you just see them opening up the beer cooler and unloading it. And they walk out the door, two-fisted, arms full of fucking cases of beer, every drop of liquor in the store. They're clearing out like a conga line of beer out the fucking door. Bum, 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 bum. Hey! Dun, dun. And I'm watching this happen in fast motion, and I look up, and the cops are riveted. They just want to see what's going to happen next. This is awesome! They're staring at the tape, and one cop is just laughing nakedly. And I can't even look at Terry at this point. He's staring right at me. I will not give him the satisfaction of looking him in the face. I can barely see the screen from the smoke coming out of fucking Terry's ears. So the cops are looking, and these guys are clearing out the beer cooler, and they take fucking everything out. All of it. Cases of beer, wine, fucking everything you can imagine. It's gone. It's gone. It's completely empty. They take it all back and forth to the car. 5 minutes goes by. They come back in a fifth time. This time they bring back the cigarette box, because now they have luggage provided by the 7-Eleven Corporation. It's a Southland carrying case. They come in, and they walk over, and they just start clearing out all of the Hostess snacks. Like all of the fucking ding-dongs and ho-hos and zingers. I think they kicked Twinkie the Kid in the balls and shoved him in the box. Fruit Pie the Magician got jammed right in there. You haven't seen them since, have you? Of course not. These fucking guys stole them. They take everything and fill the fucking box up, and they go and they just carry it the fuck out. Just snack cakes galore. And they get out to the car, and they're gone. Standing out there. They come back in a sixth time. This is my favorite part of the tape, because again, it's moving fast, but I'm picking up on their body language. They come in for the sixth time, and they walk in the door, and you see the two of them are just standing there, and they're just kind of like, what the fuck else is there to take? We don't Because I don't know what else is in the store that a stoner would want at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning. At that point, you might as well just load me onto a hand truck and dump me in your car to embarrass the shit out of me at this point. So they kind of make a decision to figure something out, and one of them just goes, all right, so the one guy grabs my radio, and he puts it by the door. The other guy goes behind the counter again and starts banging with the hammer on the safe. And as he's trying to get into the safe, and the other dude is standing by the door at the radio, lights outside, headlights flash in, and the two of them just fucking run out. And you see the dude get out of his car, and he walks inside for coffee. 2:55 a.m., and then you just see fat me waddle out of the back. Hello, sir, how are you? Clink, clink. And remember earlier when I said I couldn't imagine what my face looked like when the drawer opened? I don't have to. I saw it in clear black and fucking white. Drawer opens. Ah! Here's your 2 dimes. And it finishes, and then you just see me grab the phone after I lock the beer coolers. And they stop the tape. And the cops, all 3 of them, like the cops and Terry, are looking, and it's just silent. And I'm in the chair, and they all look at me. And I look up, I just go, you know, you really shouldn't have called me in on my day off. I told you I didn't have much sleep. I was pretty gassed, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Fucking, I'm sorry. I actually said I'm sorry. I wish I would have had the balls to just laugh like the entire fucking time. Who's this idiot? It's me. I'm sorry. The cops are just looking at me and they're laughing. The police are laughing. Terry is fuming, furious. And he goes, go home. We'll take care of it tomorrow. And I go, I'm guessing I'm fired? He goes, go home. We'll figure it out. We'll talk about it tomorrow. All right, just go home. I said, all right, well, you know, you don't have to pay me double time for tonight if you don't want to. I just go home, Mike. So I walk out, and Nancy looks and she goes, are you okay? I said, I think I'll be fine. And I walk outside, and I walk 3 feet to my apartment and crash for like 40 hours. And the phone rings, and they called me, and they fired me on the phone because Terry didn't want to look me in the face. I knew it. I could feel it. And I still stayed friends with Nancy. I talked to her a week later. And here's the fun epilogue to the story. As you know, all convenience stores are covered by insurance in the event of a robbery, unless clerk negligence can be proven. So by falling asleep, I not only cost them having to sit there with the cops and watch that videotape, they were out of pocket for the entire enterprise. Although I think it probably balanced itself out over the years. Because how many fucking hours of enjoyment have they gotten out of watching that videotape at every party they've ever had for the rest of their lives? Good night, folks. Thank you so much.
Ta-da! That's what I'm going to do now at the end of just like a fucking clip. I'm just going to, ta-da! I'm in a magic house. Why wouldn't I do that sort of magical stuff with you? How great was I in Portland, folks? Even though I was performing in the Batcave, I was terrific. And I was dodging stalactites and stalagmites the entire show. They were falling from the ceiling and falling from the floor because I don't know which one falls from where. You know what, folks? Ass or cave? That's what I asked. That's the question. That was a short-lived show here in the Mike Schmidt Podcasting Network. It seemed like a good idea. We gave those guys a few episodes, and then we had to cancel it because people were not into Ass or Cave. But I enjoyed it. I mean, the pitch, I'll tell you what, if you'd seen the pitch for Ass or Cave, you would have understood why I greenlit it, because it was fucking fantastic. But then those guys they kind of underperformed a little bit. And it turned out to always be ass, I think. Wasn't that the thing?
Not enough cave.
Yeah. It was Ass or Cave, not Ass, maybe Cave. So good, but good for them. And they've moved on. They're now a part of Earwolf, so good for them. They're doing very well.
Really?
They are. They're on a Thursday night block with Scarborough Country. That was another thing too. Is they fought for us. They wanted to record on Wednesdays in this studio, and I'm like, fellas, no, I record on Wednesdays. Certainly not this week or last week, but mostly Most every other week, I record on Wednesdays. So, you know what's funny? If they would have just stuck it out, they would have had 2 weeks. They would have run the place for 2 weeks. The Aster Cave guys would have been in charge for 2 goddamn weeks. Would have been perfect for them. All right, I have to stop doing this because I got to save some of this nonsense for last week's show. I can't unleash the bees and then try to pull the bees back in and then re-unleash the bees. The bees are out, so I have to just kind of harness them. And now, and last week's show, as you know, was a short one. At least I think it's going to be. I hope, because it's right 3:30 now. I wanted to be done by 5 here. Is it 3:30? What time did I get here? I don't know. We sat here and talked. Who cares? Lily and I, we're friends. So there you go. That was Bridgetown, man. It was fun. I had a great time. And I'd like to apologize right now to and even worse, I can't remember his name. Whoever I made fun of through the entire show, my buddy Russ's friend, the guy who he talked to me on the couch and he wanted to be Compton. I don't even fucking remember. I haven't listened. Wait, did we even play the Bridgetown clip? That might not have been on there. I have no idea what happened. But I got to apologize to that guy because after the show, I should tell you this. I think did I cover this? I may have covered it. He couldn't, he was just shell shocked. Because he loved what I did and thought I was hysterical, but he couldn't understand how he got swept up in the fucking tsunami of hate. And I'm just like, dude, that's just kind of what happens. I mean, and you just happen to be the guy. You were fucking Fukushima at this point. You got fucking hammered. And he's just like, yeah, but I'm being completely honest when I tell you, he was like empty-eyed. Because he had lost all hope in the faith of humanity. He just fucking was staring down. He's like, yeah, but I'm going to ask you one question, and you talked about me for 25 minutes. I'm like, dude, I unleashed the bees on you. That's what happens. When you want to call forth the bees, you're going to get stung, baby. You knew I was a scorpion. I love the fact that my whole show is premised on the fact that everybody knows I'm a dick. Hey, you guys knew I was a cock, right? This is fun. Why are you sending me emails telling me I'm a cock? When you've listened for 6 years, you know I'm a cock. You guys can get me at mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. Our friend Dave Hernandez, who does all of the artwork, all of the music for the show. He actually did a Lou Reed cover you may have heard last week. Fantastic. He's available at Facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez for friendships. But if you'd like to give him cash ships, I don't know if that's a word. Is it a word? Lily's looked it up. I've gotten a ruling from the smart one in the room, and she tells me it's a word. So if you'd like to send him some cash ships, go to artbydmh.com. That's ARTBYDMH.com, and check out all of his storyboards and all the things that he's done and the things that he can do for you. And actually, he was going to use the slogan, "What can Brown do for you?" But it had already been taken. So that's not racism at all. My friend happens to be dark complected. He enjoys a spray tan. I'm sorry, he enjoys spray tans with a Z at the end. So go to artbydmh.com and see all of the cool things that David has done and can do for you. Lily Bunched Up can be followed at several different Twitter accounts, many different Twitter accounts. I think we're down to 3, though. I think we've pared it down to 3. But she only has 3 that she wants me to tell you about.
You can tell about all of them.
All right, if you'd like to follow her at twitter.com/fistupmyass, that's fine.
That is not one of them.
And then
That is a friend of mine.
twitter.com/bondagecock. If you want to go ahead and find her at that
not
one,
mine.
that's hers. You can go ahead and follow her there.
Taken though.
I don't know if it isn't. Go ahead and look it up right now. And also, if you want to get her at twitter.com/what's this in my mouth, you can find her there.
That page does not exist.
What? Come on. So there you go. Sign it up. Bondagecock. Twitter.com/bondagecock. You know what? Just do it for now. Just do it so people have it.
No.
Please.
No.
Oh, God damn
I'm
it.
not associating any of my email addresses with bondage cock.
Well, you know what? Now make up bondagecock@hotmail.com. Look what we're doing. We're creating in the moment, folks. Twitter.com/what'sinmymouth.com. That's also her. And at twitter.com, this bump on my tongue hurts. So you can go ahead and follow her at all of those, please. Twitter.com/loud nipples. She's also available there.
No, also not.
You can go ahead and follow Lily at twitter.com/loud nipples. And I'm sorry, I was going to say something, but if you saw the withering look I just got from her, that would
No,
literally,
I
was just like, shut up, don't stop.
I want another one. What is it?
If you want to follow her at twitter.com/clitoral chain, you can follow her there. That's not bad. All right, so you get the gist. She's at all of those places, but I'll tell you what, the main ones you want to follow Lily at, certainly all of those exist. But if you want to get her at twitter.com/LilyVonStupp, twitter.com/MNTs, or twitter.com/HollywoodBQFest. You can find her at all of those and send her messages and ask her when she's going to start updating twitter.com/bondagecock. You know, you can't go wrong having multiple Twitter feeds. That's the thing. Go ahead and fucking make these happen. People want to follow you. And if they want to follow you at bondagecock or loud nipples or clitoral chain, let them, God damn it. Let these people into your world. If you want to write Lily a personal note and find out the best position to sit on the heated toilet seat so the bidet hits you just right, you can write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
Joe business. Joe, oh, you're dirt. Joe business. Joe, oh, you're dirt. Joe business. Joe, oh, you're dirt. Don't tell me that you haven't bought the big angry. Not yet. Buy it at your business. Look at that kick-ass art for sale. Tweaked audio just cannot fail. Buy it at your business. Hey, the Schmin, it comes alive. He'll like rap or buy you one through five. Joe, oh, you're dirt. Buy it at your business.
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 Clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. I tell you it's the 3 Clubs, but you may not know it anymore because they've painted over the sign that said 3 Clubs. But hopefully by the time you hear this, because what's this now? This is like 4 months away. You'll be hearing this, and hopefully they'll have the front of the building painted and fixed. But the Monday Night Teas is always there every Monday, no matter what the paint looks like on the outside of the building. I can tell you the paint is peeling inside from the hotness of the ladies and the dancers.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is an amazing show. I missed the Halloween show a couple of weeks ago. And then I missed this Monday's show because I was sitting in Lambeau Field freezing. But I can tell you that this coming week, well, first of all, let's talk about our friend Lily Von Stupp, the producer. Hey, Lily, how are you?
I'm fantastic, Mike. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How was this week's tease?
It was creep-tastic.
Okay, that was the Halloween show a couple of weeks ago. That was 2 weeks ago. We'll talk about that. Well, we talked about that last week.
Oh, you want to talk about this week's show? It
I
was
do.
Great. It was fantastic. Patrick hosted. The girls were amazing. It was jam-packed with people. Thank you all for coming out.
Thank you, folks. Patrick is he was the host, and he's going to be hosting a lot of the Hollywood Burlesque Festival.
He is hosting the 2 main shows at the Hollywood Burlesque Festival.
And he should be. And I was supposed to bring him a CD today, and I forgot. But I'll bring him another one. Or not another one. I'll bring him one later, another time. But tickets are available at Monday Night Teas. Tickets are available at brownpapertickets.com.
They're also available at MondayNightTees.com.
Oh, are they? MondayNightTees.com. You can go to MondayNightTees.com for any and all information. You can go to Facebook.com/MondayNightTees and become a part of the community and get all the information and the updates about when shows are going to be happening. My guess is Mondays. But you'll know who's coming. You'll find your favorite performers and see everything that's going to be cool, and it's going to be fun, and I'm excited, and I will be there. And perhaps, if you're going to be there one night and you're like, you know what, Mike, it'd be fun if you were there. Well, if you contacted me, perhaps I could arrange that. And then I would come in on a Monday, and we would sit together. And if you were a lady, perhaps we could lay together and cuddle during the show. That's right. That's how I like to do it. There's actually a bed up in the VIP area, and you just cuddle and watch the show. It's a special thing. It's like, in a ballpark when they have like Barca loungers you can watch the game from. Well, in the Monday Night Teas, they got a bed, and you can just curl up. Or you can go to the sound booth. And it would be awesome, right? Have a bed show? You got to have a bed show. It's got a bed in there. They can't even paint the fucking building. All right, so.
Not my job to paint the building.
No, not you. I said they. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But the Monday Night Teas is amazing and awesome. And also, please remember that the Hollywood Burlesque Festival is coming up. And we're actually closer than ever. Well, certainly closer than we've been any of the other times I've told you about this.
4 weeks away.
Yeah. 4 weeks away. We are 1 month away, folks. Tickets are on sale now at brownpapertickets.com. You can go to hollywoodburlesquefestival.com for any and all information about the headliners, the shows. Like I said, Patrick's going to be hosting. Lily's going to be there being business Lily. Our friend Dizzy Von Dam, who will be in town. She's doing some shows. Russell Bruner will be here. It's going to be an amazing performance. Roxy Delight is here and crushing it. So it's going to be a great, great event. And a one-of-a-kind event. We haven't had that here in Hollywood just yet. And there's a marquee and a big theater. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. What's funny? Lily and I one time went out for ice cream after the show.
That is funny.
That is funny. And we went to, I wanted to go to Baskin Robbins with her. I forget where we were going to go, but we wound up at Baskin Robbins because she wanted ice cream. And we were in a place called Gower Gulch, and we walked by, and there was a building that was empty. And it was this storefront, and it was huge. And Lily was like, I want to rent this, and I want it to be my burlesque theater. I want this to be a thing. And I don't know if you were thinking about the Hollywood Burlesque Festival before that, but I like to think that that was where the idea germinated, where it was planted, where the seed was planted, because you went, well, if I had my own place, I could put on a really grand show that I would want. And I think then you kind of ran downhill with it and went, you know what, let's do an actual festival and let's have a theater. And I like to think that was all done under the influence of Baskin Robbins ice cream. You can shake your head no, but I told you what I like to think. But still, it was totally fun that night. We had a good fun time that night. It was great.
We did. It was awesome. It was an ice cream social.
Eating ice cream, holding hands.
Not each other's.
No, the homeless were surprised,
They were.
quite honestly. But that's fine. It worked out for all of us. All four of us had a great time. So, HollywoodBurlesqueFestival.com, all the information, brownpapertickets.com, all the tickets for that, the Monday Night Teas, and go to go to Facebook.com/Monday Night Teas and Facebook.com/Hollywood Burlesque Festival. Join, learn, follow, friend. You can go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com, and while you're there, you can actually go to Facebook.com. Let's start there, folks. Go to Facebook.com/The40-Year-Old Boy. Be my friend. And I have no more live dates to plug. I was in Milwaukee last 2 weeks ago. Jesus Christ. But there are hopefully live things afoot. We're figuring, we're discussing, we're thinking, we're calling, we're making plans for Nigel. And as soon as we know what's up, we will let you guys know. You can go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com, though, in the meantime, and go to the Joe Business page, and there's a plethora. There's a veritable slew of things for sale, folks. There's a cornucopia of me. There's Schmitty Comes Alive, the download. There's For the Life of Schmitty, the download. There's the Yurt Dirt Dirt shirt, available to all of you. There's the Big Angry CD, autographed, ready to be sent out with green ink, right there on my page. Go ahead and order that. And, of course, tweakedaudio.com/40. Wonderful supporters of the show. Wonderful supporters of the Hollywood Burlesque Festival. We are so pleased to be associated with them and their products. Go and frequent them and check out their autoerotic asphyxiation earbuds, their cock ring watches, and, as always, their gear. Artwork is available. Now, I should tell you this. There are a couple of people who have artwork orders pending, and I've been promising them for quite a while. Well, let me tell you, folks. They finally arrived last week, and now I've sent them out already this week because I sent them out Wednesday morning because I got off the plane Tuesday, and when I got to send that artwork, boom, done. So Nicole and Paul, watch those mailboxes because you have artwork coming that you ordered 7 months ago. But unfortunately, you know what? Real life interferes. Just as it did where we wound up having to do the scramble here. We're doing this fucking shell game on you guys and having a show recorded 3 weeks ago and then not recorded, and this could be live. I could be in your radio right now, folks. I'm looking at the wires behind the cassette. Now I'm on the right standing on the eject. That's right. My radio, believe me, I like it loud. I'm the man with the box that can rock the crowd. Walking down the street to the hardcore beat while my JVC vibrates the concrete. I'm sorry if you can't understand, but I need a radio inside my hand. Don't mean to offend other citizens, but I kick my volume way past 10. Anyway, folks, that's what LL Cool J would say if he was here, but he is not. I'm here. And I'm here to tell you about the Joe Business page. Also, the one thing that I forgot to mention, Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, Year 4, and Year 5 download sets available individually or together as the UN of Evil box set, which was just purchased by our friend Raquel in Indianapolis. Not really Indianapolis. I think she lives in Shit Heel, Indiana, if I remember correctly. I don't know if that might be what it's called. I don't think she's in the big city. She hasn't graduated to the big city just yet. But thank you for purchasing that. And also to our friend Alessandro, who just bought a couple of years of download years, and our friend Scott, who just bought a download year. And everybody who buys Schmitty Comes Alive and brings home things. Everybody who likes it. Everybody who buys stuff. Thank you so much. That's another episode idea I had where I'm just going to say your names. It'll just be like Fate Club. I mean, Fight Club.
We kind of did that, though.
Yeah, but not really. Not in the way I want to do it. I don't want any personality in it whatsoever. I just want in a monotone, just say people's names. As if they were, you know what? Like I'm giving out diplomas. Like at a fucking high school graduation or something. I'll just sit there and be like, Jeff Rich. And then Jeff Rich will come up and I'll shake his hand and thank him for listening to the show. Although he won't be here. We'll have to have a stand-in for Jeff Rich. Valkyrie Harper. And she'll walk up and she'll give me a t-shirt that she printed just for me at her special Valkyrie Harper press. I like this idea for a show. You know, I should have done that this week. Check that. I mean, I should do it next week. I mean, I should have done it last week. Folks, I'm lost. Damn it. See what you did to me? So you can also, at MikeSchmidtComedy.com, you can donate to the show. Let's talk about our friend Ian Brill. Ian went ahead and he purchased the CD, and he purchased the Schmitty Comes Alive download, and he donated money on top of that.
Wow.
And this is a guy I had lunch with a couple of months ago. So he actually knows me, and he's giving me money. Why are you doing that? That makes no sense at all. We're friends. We breathe the same air. There's no reason you should be giving me cash.
Buying your wares?
I guess. I don't know. Fine.
You're so weird.
It is weird, but it feels weird. It's weird to do that to me.
Why?
Because these people know me.
But if your friend owned an auto shop, would you walk in and go, "Hey, how you doing? Give me a tailpipe"?
You're goddamn right I would.
That is so weird.
I think it's much more weird that you walked in asking for a tailpipe, Lily, but that's fine. If that's what you wanted, that's what you pulled. Follow her at twitter.com. I need a tailpipe.
What is a tailpipe?
It's that, I don't know, but I don't put a banana in it. I can tell you that. I'm certainly not going to fall for the banana in it.
The exhaust pipe.
Exactly. Do that again. Please do that again. That was good.
No, I'm not.
She made a hand gesture for exhaust pipe that I can only describe as alluring.
It was just a pipe.
That's all right. That was good. I liked it. And you went lefty.
Down the
Side
pipe
saddle
with
lefty.
your chest, you have to push your hand back. You can't just
All right.
stop.
You did it. I liked it. It was good.
Oh, Christ.
What?
Is there anything not sexual with you?
I think you need to turn that back on yourself, Dr. Lecter. Think you need to look at yourself and go, hey, is there anything not sexual with me? Walking around with no bra and stroking imaginary tailpipes?
I didn't stroke a tailpipe.
Yes, you did.
I went and...
And you're doing it again. Please continue to explain this. As long as I get to see you stroke the imaginary tailpipe, I'm fine.
You are an idiot.
I'll tell you what, I may stick a banana in that imaginary tailpipe.
Oh, no.
Extended vowel sounds from Lily Bunch Up. That's her new podcast.
Extended
E.
Oh.
I like it.
Ooh.
Ooh. I.
Hey. I'm done.
I was gonna say we're done. And literally, you get 6 episodes out of that podcast. Why?
Oh.
God damn it. See, folks, sometimes it's the fake shows that are more fun to do because it's like, who cares, right? You don't care. You're sitting there right now. You're just like, we just heard Bridgetown a million times, which you've heard you talk about, and it wasn't nearly as good as you hyped it up to be. And now you guys are stroking imaginary tailpipes and making extended vowel sounds. God damn it. That's a show. That's a fucking show, baby. I don't know what the fuck you think you got in for, but that was it. This is the ground floor of Mike Schmidt Inc. Fucking stroking imaginary tailpipes and extended vowel sounds. Pitch both those goddamn shows. I'm in. That's perfect. I'm human lunch meat. I'm nobody. I'm baloney in pants. God damn it. Why do I think I'm somebody special? Why do I think I'm anybody interesting? I'm not. All I bring to the table is everything that everybody else does, but louder. Don't hit snooze on me, motherfucker. I am a hilarious noise machine. I'm going to tell you this. You need to sit down and reevaluate your life if you can pull 2 midget Indian wrestlers out of your skull at any time. You know what? I don't even need you people here. Seriously, I do this. I love me. I don't give a fuck what you think, how you think. God damn it, I'm the greatest. can't go for Schmidt. No, no. No can do. 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 No can do.